Really a collaborative, and I think that it goes to show how an event like the one we're going to be talking about takes a collection of people to make it happen. But we're going to talk about Luck Inc. first, and Pamela Stolz is here to talk about it. And yes, I will point out, for full disclosure very quickly, that you are my daughter, since people will notice that the name,
yes.
I mean, the name of the show is in big letters with Stolz up there. All right, so tell us about Luck Inc. and about this event in particular and how it plays into the mission of Luck.
Sure. So I'm the Assistant Director of TIL Services at Luck, which is one of 5 divisions in the agency. We're a social service agency in Central Mass, and our division has offices in both Fitchburg and Worcester, and we serve the whole county. And in our division, we work with homeless young adults. We provide a whole array of services to help people stabilize their housing situation, get access to whatever they need. And we really believe in youth voice and collaboration with the young people that we work with. And so this art event was spearheaded by our Youth Action Board, and it's really a great way to raise up the voices of the people we work with, showcase them in the gallery, and bring awareness to the issue of youth and young adult homelessness in this county.
So Chris, that's really where you come in then, and some of your work. Tell us about what you do.
So I'm the co-chair of the Worcester County Youth Action Board, and basically the role of the board, it's basically filled with people 17 to 26 that have experienced housing instability or have a passion to eradicate youth homelessness. So basically we come up with ways to engage youth in the Worcester County area.
So when we say youth homelessness, what age groups are we talking about? You just talked about 17 to 26, but is youth homelessness younger than that?
So it can be younger, but what we're talking about in the programs we work with and the population we're reaching out to is young people who are homeless unaccompanied. So they're not with their family. So this is not the young people who are potentially in homeless shelters with a parent or some other provider. These are people who are on their own. So they can be younger than 17, but the Youth Action Board encompasses people between 17 to 26.
How many people are we talking about, do you think? I mean, is it a huge problem in the area?
It is a really big problem in the area, and I think it goes very unnoticed because there's a lot of young people who are potentially couch surfing or don't want to be seen and are staying in places where they're not going to present themselves at a shelter because they may not feel comfortable there. It's difficult for that reason to get accurate data, but we do have ways of trying to do a youth count every year and reach out to people, engage with people. And the most recent estimates I know of is that there are estimated to be 250 homeless young people in Worcester County on any given night.
Wow. Laura, this is obviously right in the wheelhouse then of the Creative Hub. You're reaching out and helping through art in creative ways for a lot of disenfranchised youth or youth who, even at younger ages, are in danger of becoming part of the statistic.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have this partnership and this opportunity to have this partnership because Creative Hub really believes that art is a tool for healing and self-expression and self-empowerment. And so being able to connect with Pamela and Chris and this organization and these youth and being able to teach an art class to these young adults who some of them, have had experience with art and some of them haven't, I think has been really healing for them, but also, for me, and I think the exhibit will also be really powerful for people to be able to see that this is not just about, sort of the stereotype of individuals sleeping under a bridge, but this is a much broader issue that has a lot more complexity around that.
Well, you talk about that stereotype. I mean, that is the first thing. I mean, I guess that there's a couple of things that hit me. One is how this must be an incredibly difficult project to get the word out to be able to get people to come and take part. So it's probably something you kind of have to start and then build and maybe build slowly. But also, what is that like when somebody walks in? Because you're right. I mean, I guess my first thought, Laura, is somebody's going to come and you're going to help them through art, and it may help them. But if I'm worried about being hungry or I'm worried about where I'm sleeping, I don't know. I'm going to hop down and start painting?
Yeah, I think there's a process of, kind of building a relationship with, these young adults through Luck and the, County Action Board that already have networks and relationships with these individuals. It's not like they're just going to kind of show up at our space. First of all, you can't just, hand them a flyer or find it on social media because, they don't have, they may not have access to these tools. And so developing that relationship and that trust building. And I actually went to the space and was able to, kind of come in where they already feel comfortable being and teach that class in that location. So there's a little bit of a bridge that has to happen there. I mean, Creative Hub really has to expand and go out into the community to be able to reach these individuals.
Chris, how does that outreach happen and, bust up maybe some of those stereotypes for us today?
So what we do is Luck has already they have already connections with the participants in their program, and so basically the case managers there will, or however we allow people to apply to be a part of the Youth Action Board, and then we interview them and see if they are really in touch with this issue, and basically. So I think the Youth Action Board basically works alongside with service providers and case managers.
Yeah, and again, maybe to bust through some of those stereotypes. Pamela, you brought one of the paintings. Let's look at that and then tell us a little bit quickly in about 30 seconds about this event coming up.
Yeah, sure. So just going back to what you were saying about, people have so many needs when
And
they're...
I can hold that too.
Yeah, I'll let you hold that. When they're homeless, but they also need a time and a space to reflect on what they're going through, and I think this event was therapeutic for people to be able to have that time. And this is a painting that was made by one of our Youth Action Board members, and he really depicted some of the turmoil and darkness that you can go through, but then he had a hopeful message, or this circle here is the light, and that hand is his hand reaching towards the light. So if you want to see this painting and many others from young adults who came to our workshops, they'll be up at the Worcester Pop-Up on November 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. and we'll have a speaking program at 6 o'clock.
That's where we have to end it, but come to the Worcester Pop-Up. Thank you all so much for coming and telling us about this great program.